start my show and introduce you. Good Wednesday night, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. We got a special guest in with us tonight out on the water fishing. Done put one fish in the boat right off the bat. The bait wasn't in the water a minute and it went down. So hopefully we'll get to see some fish tonight. But with that being said, God bless you. God bless America. And we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we're going to talk a little bit of kayak fishing, safety, fishing, and maybe get to see a few fish tonight live. We've had Jesse on here before, Mr. Jesse O'Neill, the warden, but he wanted to come on here live while he was fishing one night, so we got him on here. Appreciate you coming in and joining us tonight, Jesse.
Oh, no problem at all. I always appreciate when we get together and do videos like this. And, we've been talking about trying to get together while I'm out on the kayak so many times, and it never really works out. And sorry for the chat. For some reason, it's not showing up on my phone.
It won't through StreamYard. You had to have a second device to see chat. But if I see any questions, I'll holler them out to you.
All right, that works.
We got Fishing with Freedom, Mike Irvin, Carolina Catfish, the Squirrels in the house with us tonight. Ernie Brown, fishing. Who else? Catmandu. That's my favorite name. That was my very first boat. That's what I had on the side of it was Catmandu.
Y'all
so I can tell you how long I catfished. Catfishing with the Crow. Who else we got in here? Mike Irvin, Paw Ed, John Patrick Jr., Mr. Lyle from Catfish Weekly, Central Valley Adventures, Fishing with the Chad. There's Miss D's in the house, Wayne Smith. Did I say Catfishing with Crow?
Yes, you did.
The Pork Chops in the house, William Warner. That's a cool name. I like Pork Chop. There's Mark. Mark, look. Look, Mark. I put the hat on. I wore your hat tonight, God. I figured I'll wear it for shows only. I won't wear it out nowhere else and get it nasty. Who else? There's D. If I miss a name, I do apologize. Who else we got in here? That's all I'm seeing right now. So you getting out baits right now, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm putting baits out. It's funny is it happened again while you was sitting there talking to everybody. I threw this back rod out, and it wasn't even a second after it hit the bottom. That thing took off.
Dang right. There's Jeremy's Tournament Cats, Hillbilly Moonshiners, Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Yeah, Mark, I had to get your old hat out and put it on. I like these hats, but you don't never see me wearing it, so I figured I'd wear it tonight for you, buddy. Sunfish Assassins. We got 21 people in here, guys. Don't forget. Hit the like button if you like it. Share it if you want to. We're going to have a little fun tonight. And if you don't mind, if you see new faces in here, like I said, share the bait, share the love. Hey, Mr. Jesse, what kind of bait we throwing tonight?
So I got a little bit of a mix-up tonight. I caught some live brim and some green sunfish on my way down in while I was, kind of waiting to see what the rain was going to do. So I want to throw a little bit of a live bait. And then I got some shad that my wife went and got from Jamie K Outdoors in Fort Lawn for me last week, and I broke it. I bought enough to where I could break it up into smaller bags for, little trips like this. So I got, I'll be running cut bait. I got shad head. I don't know which way it's facing, but it's my left over here. I got a cut shad head over here. I got a live greenie.
See the hand you're pointing at right now, the live greenie. So what is that, your right hand or left?
Right hand.
Okay, that's your right hand. All right. Yeah. I can't see your left arm.
That's my left arm. You can't see
I can't see it. I can't see it at all.
Okay.
Well, there's Mr. Strawberries in the house with us tonight. Mr. Strawberry, I'm glad you got over that COVID stuff, buddy. I really am. It was right down the road. All you had to do was call me, my friend. We'd have brought you anything and everything. Mr. Maurice Cason's in the house with us. Palmetto Cats. I think it's it right now. So you're pretty. How far below the dam you figure you fish mostly?
Tonight. Oh, I'm miles down from the 4 mil dam tonight.
Okay.
I'm a little bit farther past Rock Hill.
I didn't know what areas you fished at down there, or what areas you put out mostly.
Yeah,
I mean you got certain places.
There's a few different ramps on this stretch that you can launch from, and usually if we do it on a weekend, we'll launch from one. We'll carpool, we'll go park a truck at the bottom, and then we'll launch from the top, and then we'll kind of ride it down. The dam is behind me. It's up, but it's up there a good ways. I mean, I'm technically 2 ramps on the map from it. I'm just down I'm in a pocket that I kind of gotta walk the boat so far down, launch, and then then I'll paddle through a couple flats, and then there's a big deep channel here where I'm sitting, so I like to sit in it this time of year. I usually pull quality fish out of it. There's not as much current. Even when the water's up, there's not a lot of current right here. It stays pretty a little bit calmer than everything else.
Right. So I mean now, and I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit too, because I don't fish that river down there. There's David Martin, Circle Hook Productions. I don't fish that water, and I want to. I used to fish behind the dam a lot, but it was off the bank. That's back when you could walk just about up to the gates.
You could probably do that about right now. I mean, as low as the water's been consecutively now, you could probably almost get up there now.
We used spark plugs back then for sinkers because you knew you was going to lose them. As soon as they hit the bottom, it was going to stick.
Boy, I tell you,
we tied with real light line, like a Kentucky rig.
Yeah,
real light line with a daggone spark plug on the end of it.
Yeah, I've done that before. Taking like the crappie line, like a 4 or 6 pound line, and then tie it around, like a gift wrap around the rock, like a little rock, just enough to hold the bait to the bottom, and then run it on a 3-way swivel. So that way, if the rock gets hung and the bait and fish takes off, you can just pop the line, and then you still get the majority of your rig. You lost a rock and like 3 inch 6 pound line.
Yeah, that's what we would do. Except we'd tie probably about a 3-foot leader for the weight, then tie a 3-way, and then a hook off the 3-way, and we'd use like 6 or 8 pound line we'd use heavier than that because you'd break it trying to cast it.
Yeah.
So we'd tie, I think, about 12 pound line, and then we'd cast it out. And they used to, you could hit the back of the dam and it dropped straight down. And most time when it hit the bottom, it got hammered.
Yeah, up there in that area, boy, it don't take long. If you can get a bait up against that dam, they just sit right there on that wall. Them shad cruise that wall. So so them fish are all up in there.
Yep. Let's see. I've seen somebody else come here. Creole's in the house with us tonight. Terry Lane. So what makes do you choose different areas for different seasons of the river? Like fall right now, everybody's water, they pulling everybody down, and there probably ain't a whole lot of current. What's different from your springtime and your fall time fishing? Because to me, the fish are about the same patterns, but they are some differences. I heard it.
It's that live one. Honestly, out here on this river system, the bite stays pretty solid. Like, you don't have to do a lot of adjustment. In the fall and the wintertime, I like to focus a little bit more on anchor fishing and not so much, dragging baits around through the rocks. I try to focus more on pockets.
Right.
In the spring, the fish are starting to move. The shad are starting to boil up real good. So I'll try to sit on shallower flats, from the spring all the way to the fall. I focus on real shallow flats that have like random holes in them. You'll hit
Right.
maybe like 2 foot of water, and then all of a sudden it dropped to like 4 to 6, and then come back.
Right.
I like to get up in that 2 foot of water and throw towards them pockets. Out here, our biggest success is, we free line a lot. We let the current float the bait as we float down, and that's a pretty solid thing.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole year. I mean, it could be 30 degrees and you're still catching bait because, you're giving the fish a natural presentation. As that bait drops through that water column, it's coming down just like a shad that got kicked off a rock.
Yep.
So,
I always love free lining. I mean, one thing about free lining, though, you got to be a daggum line watcher.
Oh, yeah.
Then suckers will drag you back underneath the boat and everything else, and you never see it. We got Pontoon Jody and Hooks and Hammock in the house with us.
What's going on, everybody?
And you also use them floats out there too, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, I was going to run them tonight, but I left the rod that I had rigged up with sitting at the house. I was trying to load everything up in a hurry to get out here to catch bait and beat the rain.
Yeah.
And I left the one rod that I had rigged up with the float. But yeah, the floats work great out here. So like I told you before, I love float fishing for flathead.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime, you take big live bait and you just use them floats at nighttime to float right up into them log jams and keep that bait out of the log jam. Boy, I love a good float fishing out here.
Yeah. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. And I'm not pushing my floats. I ain't even gonna mention the name of them. You can use any float to do this. But there's old Ronnie's in the house. I seen he was waiting to be in here tonight. Ronnie, I about grabbed your hat.
Ronnie's trying to get all the secrets from me. That's what it is.
Ronnie's good people. They actually the ones that got me started making the floats again.
That's what
I was showing people how to make them. And he said, "No, you make them, we'll buy them." I said, "All right." He's got some good fish too.
Oh yeah, he's got a honey hole down there. I ain't gonna say where, but he's got a honey hole down there, boy. And I've seen some of the fish he pulls out of it.
Uh-oh. Is that a fish?
Yep.
Fish on, fish on, fish on. See, Ronnie done brought you some luck. He popped in the chat and the rods go down.
I don't know what happened. I still got him. He's just swimming with me.
Oh,
he's swimming under me.
See, we're going to show you some fish. I couldn't show you no fish the other day on the boat. I figured I'll bring somebody in here that can.
Oh, he's pulling pretty good.
Oh,
he's got my other.
I hear drag.
Oh, that's a good one. He's got me wrapped around the other line.
It won't be the first time, though, will it?
No. That's part of river fishing.
Yeah, that's part of fishing, period.
That's a solid fish there if I can not lose him.
David Smith and
that's a big one.
Oh, we want to see some good fish.
If I can get it. Oh no.
You didn't just lose him.
Maybe. I did.
No. That's all right. Get them baits back out there. He's still hungry.
Whew. Sorry about that one.
That's all right. First time won't be the last.
I couldn't see the white light was blinding my face. I couldn't see exactly where the hook set was.
Oh.
That was a straight hook, not a circle hook.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to reach in there and grab a hook.
No.
There's a Buck Williams, a David Smith.
That was a good one.
What did he hit on? That live bait?
No, that was on the shed, on that cut shad.
Oh, I hear you.
It was on a shad body.
There you go. There's a blue.
Yeah, big blue. I thought at first it was a flathead by the way he doubled down on me.
Yeah.
I had him right there at the side of the boat. I was trying to get my other line off of his head, and he rolled that straight hook out.
Yeah, we can hear him. That's for sure. He said he got a meeting. He'll be back in 10 minutes. He got to go buy a dog, probably. Catfish Talker Outdoors. Oh. What kind of reels you got on them things?
I'm running the C3s.
I hear you.
Garcia C3s. This one's the old silver Swiss made one.
Yep.
Yeah, this has been in my catfish arsenal for probably 11 years.
Yep.
And then I got the red striper special set up for catfish on the front.
Right.
And then the orange and black catfish special 6500 over here.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people do. They say they're overpriced or whatever. You here on the East Coast, and we've got so many carp lakes, pay lakes, and stuff around here that there'll always be parts for those reels. Always.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you can always find them. Soon as a new color comes out, you can always buy them in bulk from somebody. You're gonna pay for them, but you can usually buy them in bulk from somebody.
Yep, you dang sure can. Freddie's Outdoors is in the house. Sorry, lady, he was finished cleaning up some shell crackers from his maiden voyage on the new John boat. Well, good. You got fish.
Hey, you got fish in the boat. That's always good.
Yep, silver fox fishing. Yep, them rods will go back. It'll go back down again. I got a feeling. That's 2 bites within just a few minutes. That ain't bad. That's 2 fish. Yeah, I mean, you got him at the boat. You seen him. You put your hands on him. That's a fish.
Yeah, I had to hold the leader line. I was trying to get that other line out of my way, and I couldn't see the hook.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get the fish grits in. If I could have got the fish grits on him, I could have had him right here. They're on a tether, so I could just lock them real quick and then kind of let him go for a second to reposition.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, that's one thing you want to make sure is that you see the hook. You don't see the hook and you reach down and grab a mouthful of hook and it's over. You got a bad day.
Well, I tell you, I've been using Nocturnal Nation hooks a lot here lately, and I tell you, they are sharp. You'll know if you get one on you because it cuts you. It cuts you.
Ernie, we appreciate you coming in, man. Get you some rest. Good luck at the doctor tomorrow. He said, Jesse, be safe out there.
Thank you, sir. Good luck with the doctor, man.
Yep. Catfish Pappy's in the house. Carolina Catfishing's Carolina Cat Daddy's in the house. He catches some good fish on Wiley and stuff.
Yes, he does, boy. He's got Wiley pegged.
Yeah. Yep. Wiley can throw you for a loop, though, man. Right now, them fish are scattered every freaking word. But they hadn't actually set up their late fall patterns yet, so.
Yeah, that and the water level up there has been so low for so long.
It is.
I mean, there's not a lot of current flowing through that the fish, like I like to fish, the northern side of Wiley up, launch from Dales or launch from South Point and, fish up that way a lot. And usually there's a good undercurrent and it makes catfishing up there great. But this year, everything's just been so low.
But now last year and all the way up to this spring, we moved so much water because we had so much rain.
Yeah.
But now it's getting to the opposite. I mean, we're getting rain, and it's often enough, but it ain't that much. Brandon's outdoor. James, talk about how to fish floats on the river, please. Trophy Seekers, that's what we're getting ready to do. He's asking about using floats on the river. How do you set up and how do you use them, if you don't mind covering that right quick?
Yeah, not at all. So, it's a shallow river system, so you kind of gotta know where you're gonna fish the floats. If you're gonna fish a deeper pocket, usually I'll set my guide about, if I'm in 10 foot of water, I usually set it to about 8 to 7 foot where my bait hangs down.
Right.
And on the river, I like to run a little bit heavier egg sinkers than I would on a lake. Like if I was fishing a lake, I'd probably go 1 ounce, 2 ounce maybe. But out here, just to keep my bait down because of the current, I like to run like a 5 or 6 ounce weight. That's why I really like your floats. Is for that reason. They hold that weight so good.
Right.
and it's not dragging the whole float down. You know, you run into that some of them long, skinny ones. You know, you
Yeah.
put too much weight on there, it sucks them straight down, and you
Yeah.
don't get to see much of the float. But I'll run, you know, probably about a foot leader, maybe, and with a swivel on that, and then I'll put a bead, you know, like I said, 5-6 ounce egg sinker, and then I'll, depending on how deep of where I'm fishing that float, I'll slide that line stop to where I need it to be, and
Right.
I like the rope ones because they're quicker. But if you can get some of like the large black ones, like they use a
Yeah.
lot for carp fishing for like the bigger gauge line.
Yeah.
I like the little rubber ones. They will wear out a little quicker than the line does, than the actual string does, just
Yeah.
because they slide a lot when they get wet. But they work great for being able to quickly adjust your depth.
Right.
And I mean, that's the biggest key with the floats out here is you want your bait to stay down with the current, stay down in that water column that the fish are going to be cruising in, but you want your float to be up enough to where you're not catching rocks, you're not catching stuff like that as your float's out there moving around. Especially with live bait. I like to run live bait. That's why I put a swivel on there instead of just going straight hook.
Right.
That way, if that bait gets kicking around in a circle, it's not twisting my main line up and causing casting issues later.
Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. It's and that's what a few people's run into, those live baits. And I don't know, maybe running a chain swivel might help with that, but some of them and I don't know if the bait come to the top and went back down right beside the float or whatever, but it ended up making a mess right underneath the float.
Yeah.
But we got looking, and they was actually hooking that little clip onto a sinker slide because they thought that I didn't sell the sinker slide with the bobber. But that new clip I got, you just put it on your line. You don't have to use a sinker slide. And they didn't know, but that just added another swiveling piece in between for line to get caught on.
Yeah.
And but once they took that and quit putting them on sinker slides, they no longer had that problem.
And that's the same reason too why I use that little bit of heavier ounce egg sinker. Keep that bait down. Yeah. Don't let that. I mean, unless you're fishing a big shell cracker, like a whole shell cracker or something.
Right.
Majority of the time, 4 to 5 ounces is going to keep the biggest bait you're going to throw down.
Oh God, yeah.
And
but now there are times when you want to fish that bait about 1 foot underneath the water too.
Yeah.
And that you're just going to have to accept that he might tangle you up.
Yeah. And that's fishing out here. Like right now, I'm anchored in probably 2 foot of water. That's why I don't have my life jacket on in case anybody says anything. I took it off because I put my rain jacket on.
Right.
I'm in 2 foot of water. I fall out. I can just stand up.
Yeah.
But
ain't really moving no water either.
I'll run them floats with no weight at all and just let the bait drag the float up the line as it's going down. If it's floating beside me at the current, and that'll keep that bait right close to that surface kicking.
Yep.
But the float is dragging the current. So as you're drifting down, like I said, we like to free line a lot. So that's one of the methods too that we use with the float is that keeps the bait from going to the bottom. You can control how deep your bait's going to drop. Because there's a lot of time, believe it or not, these channel cats and blues out here, boy, they'll hit like a bass on something out here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I caught some 44-inch fish and 2 foot of water out here last August.
I love it.
I caught 3 over 42 inches out here last August, and all of them was in 2-3 foot of water.
Oh, see, and people on here, if y'all don't fish that shallow of water in lakes and in rivers, you don't know what it's like to have a daggum 30 or 40 pound fish tail walk on the water till you get them up in 1 or 2 foot of water. Then you get to see them pigs. You don't think they will, but them pigs will come up and tail walk on you.
Oh yeah, they'll come clear across the surface. You'll hear them busting the surface before you even realize that it's got the bait. Before you even hear the rod go up.
Yeah. And to me, it's like free lining. You don't get too much more natural presentation than that.
No, not at all. Like I said, these fish are used to eating bait that's floating, that something else has done hit or it's been swirled up in a. I'll cut this down.
Then got his head bashed against a rock in the current, or
Yeah,
something else done hit him and knocked the scales off of him, or
and it's out there, so that fish is just gonna float with the current. The current's gonna
yeah.
take it. I mean, I've seen catfish come up and eat birds like that. Bird get knocked into the water and flopping across
Oh yeah.
a flat. I've seen them come up and just nail birds like that.
Ryan Bolts, he's sitting right against the bank and took his life jacket off to put his raincoat on. So, support or not, the man's being very safe. I promise you, he's in 1 or 2 foot of water. He's being very safe.
Yeah, because of the rain. I know you can't really see it, but right above me is actually a big overlay tree.
Oh, I hear you.
It's over the water, so it's kind of keeping me a little bit more dry than if I was just anchored out in the main channel. If I was anchored out in the main channel out here, it's about 10 foot. I'd put my jacket back on just to sit out there.
Right.
Just in case I got wrapped up and, having to fall out or go to stand up to grab something and slip out. Like, I'd rather have that jacket, swim or not. I got rubber boots on. It's going to suck you down quick.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, where I'm sitting, I'm like, the bank's pretty much right here. Like, I can step off and walk up into the woods.
Yeah, that's right. So,
like I said, if I was to move and go back out towards the main channel, if the rain had stopped or something like that, then I would definitely put that jacket back on. I 100%, believe.
Oh yeah,
51st out here. I've seen
whatever picture and video.
Things happen to people on this river.
Oh yeah, well, every video and picture I've seen of you out fishing, you've got your life jacket on. So
yeah, most of the time I have it on. Like I said, the only time I don't have it on is like out here when the water's low. There's big rock piles that you can actually pull the kayak up on, and it looks like you're sitting in the water, but you're actually not. You're just sitting on a rock pile fishing off of it, basically like you were fishing off the land. I do that a good bit out here because there's some of those rock piles that are right above deep holes. So you just pull up on them, and then you basically get out the kayak, walk around like you're on a big flat.
There's Robbie's in the house with us tonight. Appreciate you coming in, Robbie. I see K&B Anglers, Avid Fisherman. Appreciate that, Avid. Another hit.
Yeah.
You in a good spot right there.
Yeah. There's a little bit of this, I think, about 4 yards out in front of me is where the main channel, I think, runs through.
Right.
So I'm fishing. I got 3 rods out, 1 towards the middle, and then 2 running that seam line down. The one over on my left, kind of off camera, that one's up against some brush piles closer to the bank, trying to see if maybe there's something creeping up on that bank.
That might very well be. I see Amy Williams in the house. Miss Williams, Sam and Amy Williams, they fish the southeastern.
Oh yeah.
I've already their scale for Robbie's tournament. The real gals fishing. I met her today and took the scale back to them. Who else we got coming in here? Now, how far away are you from Robbie?
Right where I'm sitting, probably 3 miles, 4 miles from where he normally fishes.
Okay, cool.
Give or take.
He's in good water too.
He's got a great little spot out there. The hardest part is figuring them out.
Yeah. Well, can't figure them out if you ain't got the bait in the water, can you?
Yeah, that's it.
So now on that river section, let's try to ask something here. What do you think on your flatheads they hit mostly, cut or live bait? See, on Lake Wiley, we'll catch most of ours on cut bait.
It's a pretty even number, but I think the majority of the ones I have caught over the last couple of years have been primarily cut bait, fresh cut bait.
Right. Oh yeah, fresh. Yeah.
But I do catch them on live bait from time to time. But honestly, I think the majority of them is when you anchor fish and it's on cut bait. I mean, the one I caught 2 the other day when I was out, and they were both on cut bait.
Yeah. Robbie said he hadn't been fishing at his spot in a while. He said he needs to go. Oh, We heard that. We heard that.
I think that one was a guard. Took off sideways.
Yeah, it was fast too. Real gals. I don't understand what you're saying. Wish I had met you today, James, but that wasn't me. Robbie said he got one on frozen channel cat. Hey, catfish eat catfish. I promise you that.
Oh yeah, that's a good. I mean,
yeah.
We used to fish the high river a lot. We used to fish with the little bullheads. We used to catch them out of creeks all the time. And we'd run them live bullheads up against sunken barges and stuff. We'd pull big flatheads out with them.
Oh yeah.
Them jokers.
We tried them on Lake Wiley. I have yet to catch a fish on a bullhead out of Wiley, but I've caught them on cut channel cats.
Yeah.
But the bullheads, Wiley used to have bullheads in it, but I think they long gone once them flats and blues got in them waters.
Yeah, they pretty much clean them out. I mean, you catch a random one every once in a while out here, but usually it's got some size to it. They're not the small, normal bait size that you would use.
Right. Now, I could go to there's a carp pay lake not far from me, and they got another pond that they actually stock up them we always call them old mud cats or whatever. And that's all it is, little old bullheads. And them ponds will be slam full of them. You can go down there and cut up little pieces of chicken liver and little gold hooks, and you can catch them things as fast as you can cast out there. I've caught 5-gallon buckets. All these ponds around here stocked with them.
I think they probably put them in ponds for population control. They're going to eat everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they would be like a flathead. You don't want to stock flatheads in there because they'll eat everything in the cotton picking pond. You won't have nothing but him in there by himself starving.
Yeah, flathead's going to eat everything up.
Yeah, and I mean, them big blues will too because I've caught my share of blues on live bait. Quite a few. You gotta send me the address. I'll make good videos, Robbie. Oh, but so your major bait down there is shad and bluegill, ain't it?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
If I can get my hands on perch, I use perch up a lot out here. I think my bigger bites honestly come off of perch, but the majority of my fishing is shad. I like shad. That's what swims this river. There's a lot of them in this river. It's the same with like the bluegills and the sunfish. You got a crickets or something you can throw across this bank and you can wear them out.
Oh yeah.
So I try to match as close as I can to what these fish are used to eating. And
there you go.
And that works great. And with the shad kind of being sparse right now around here, what I've noticed, I haven't seen as many shad schools lately as I normally do. Throwing shad out here right now is great because they might not be getting it as much as they're getting everything else. Right.
Well, you got a point there. I didn't even think that. And you're right, K&B, match the hatch. And that's what I try to fish with what's spawning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in South Carolina, people, you can't use us, a game fish.
Yeah, there's a lot of regulations on the South Carolina side of what you can't use. So, like we got so many spotted bass in the river now that are that big. It's like I would love for them to just be like, yeah, use them. Because, them little spotted bass, you could take a little rooster tail and just wear them out all day and have more than you'll ever need for bait.
And they overpopulate. Lake Norman done opened up, and they don't have a limit on them. You can take as many out of Lake Norman as you want because it is so they stock so many of them. And I don't think they realize how fast them things multiply.
Yeah, that's been a thing here too. Over the last few years, just bass fishing out here, we have noticed like just a dramatic spike in spotted bass out here. When you bass fishing, which a few years back, it was, you come out here and you wear big largemouth out.
Yeah.
But now the largemouth a little bit more scattered and you're catching a lot of spots.
Yeah. it's you getting to where you don't see a whole lot of largemouth in our local lakes since they put them spots in, man. And I think they got a little more wise, but I don't know. Spots is just another time where it just goes to show where they don't do their homework. Stock something in the water, and then next thing you know, it's a problem.
I got a fish on. Where? I don't know. He's done swam me all the way around the boat.
Was you free lining him or?
This is in my anchor line. My anchor gonna come off. He's all the way up on the back. Oh, it's a big blue.
Dang right. Oh, that sounds good, boys and girls.
I'm hoping I can find my anchor after this.
They pull your anchor loose.
Yeah. Trying to keep pressure on it because this is a straight hook.
What's up, Mr. Warscow? Seen you had your giveaway. Contacted me after the show, buddy.
Oh.
Mr. Muskrat's in the house. Uh-oh. Oh, I see a big head. Oh.
Woo.
Guys and gals, that's what you call fun fishing right there.
Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. I gotta get 2 rods in and find my anchor before I get too carried away.
Okay, do what you gotta do.
He'll talk to y'all for a second.
Yeah, he's the talker.
Boy, I looked and that line was all the way down past my other lines on the river.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, man, I better check that one. So I started reeling in. Next thing I know, he's underneath of me. Fish no credit on that one.
Ronnie said he's actually in the water hooking those fish up for you.
Hey, every once in a while, you gotta have that scuba diver out there, you know.
There you go. We'll see you, Creole. Nebraska Wildcats. You got a float on it, I hope.
Yeah, I did. Camera light is blinding me.
If you need to turn it away from you or turn it off, go ahead. I'll talk to him for a little bit. Pulled his anchor loose. He'll find it. I hope.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll catch you.
All right.
Y'all get to see the white light.
So, guys, like I said, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up and share. We've got 35 people in here. I don't know what I've done, Jesse. Sorry about that. I can't draw you a big crowd no more. I used to, but guess people don't like me no more.
I'll take the 35.
Oh, yeah. As long as we're giving out great information that they can use to help them change their luck, hey, that's all I'm happy for.
See, that was a piece of that shad. That was a shad head.
Oh, I hear you.
On that one, too.
There you go. That's some of them dollar size shad, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the perfect size shad for live or cut.
Oh, that it. Should be close to where I was anchored.
Freddie said he hooked one of my floats up to his anchor line. So if he drops it, I hear you. That's pretty smart.
It's not the worst idea. I got it back.
Appreciate it, girl. Oh, I hear you good. Oh.
A little cubby right here real quick.
Big Nasty saying he wants to see the whale. He wants to see the whale.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. All right. Let's see.
You fine. As long as you got yourself set back up and safely, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Ah, dang. He's still green too, boy. That's a big old long fish. He just went back in the water, didn't he?
Nope.
Oh, I hear you. That'd been me. He'd been back in the drink.
He still got the hook in him. He ain't going far.
Oh, I hear you.
What's up, big boy?
Oh, yeah. He's still feisty. Yeah, he's still feisty. That's where we grow them in the Carolinas, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
They don't care how big they are. They got an attitude.
Oh.
There's the Bullock experience. That's a long fish there.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know exactly how long. I get you a rough measurement.
Oh, you fine. Me, when I see them long ones, it makes me think of males. But them river fish seem to be longer and narrower than a lake fish, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one, Jesse. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Got a big old head on, big old belly.
Yeah. No, they loading up. This time of year, they eating because they know winter's coming.
All right, big girl. Back in the drink.
You got to go back and do you some screenshots off of that one and get you some pictures. Big Nasty. Yeah, the cats instead of catfish. Yeah, me too, Ronnie. Is talking to Big Nasty, talking about here lately, all they've been catching is cats instead of catfish.
I'm gonna get them some crazy cat lady stickers.
Yeah. What's up, LG Bass? LG Bass throwing his hand up at you and saying, hey, all of them are. And I can't say nothing. Wife, she loves them, and out here in the country, ain't really got no neighbors, so they throw them out all the time. We just get them fixed, and they keep their snakes and the rats and everything else down. I don't care. They can have a home here.
Sheep pest control, yeah.
Well, they do. I hardly ever see a snake around here.
Yeah, we got two of them at the house. One's an indoor-outdoor cat. He comes and goes as he wants.
Oh, yeah. Big Nasty, real man look cat. Yep.
Y'all hear that coyote?
Yep.
Oh, it's an owl.
I can't hear you now. I got one. He lands on a fence out here in the yard every night, and when it gets night, I put the cats up because of coyotes and foxes and owls. But I got a big old screech owl. He lands on this fence pole out here next to the house. And I finally got a picture of him, but I had to zoom in with my phone. You know, once you zoom in so far, the picture looks kind of fuzzy at night anyway. But he's every bit 1.5 feet tall, man. That's a big freaking bird. But he comes flying in, and I seen him land, and I never heard him come. You never heard that big old rascal. Huh. But when he left out, I heard him. Yeah, when he left out flying, I heard that big rascal. I thought, no, that's something going to carry a small cat off.
They don't like it. Yeah, we got some every once in a while to come out there, out by the house. So we live out in the countryside too out there, and we get them like crazy out there, especially in the spring.
Yeah. So he come on a shad head, huh?
He come on a shad head.
You got them all baited back up?
I got all of them but one. With this little tiny live greenie I got in here. Put him out
There you go. Yeah, Jeff lost his daggum minnow bucket the other day. Yeah, I didn't know he had it hanging off the side of the boat, and we took off down the water, and we went about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. He said, "Oh well, so much for crappie fishing." I said, "No." He said, "Yep, minnow bucket hanging off the side of the daggum boat, and it's gone." So we didn't get to put no minnows down and try to catch no crappie. Papa said them big owls will eat your cats and leave you the head. I wouldn't doubt it.
I believe it.
From Lawrence County, South Carolina, Michael McPeace. I dated a girl from Lawrence, South Carolina many, many years ago when I was 16 years old. The girl had the prettiest eyes you ever seen. It was ice blue, almost white looking.
Huh.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I'd love to get down there and do some bank. I couldn't stand to be in a kayak. I just can't. My back won't stand it.
I understand.
But
I understand that.
I'd love to be able to get down there and maybe bring a little small john boat or something and get to a place where I could set up and bank fish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got spots close to here, honestly, that I mean, it's a little bit of a walk. I don't know how much walking you're going to do. I mean, it's not bad.
I can walk. Yeah. Yeah, I can walk.
Honestly, about where I'm sitting at, I got some bank spots that you can kind of get to. It's not like a, treacherous mountain climb or nothing like that, but
right.
The spots that you can get to from the bank down in here. We've done pretty good. I mean, that's not too far upriver a little bit ways is where my wife caught that big gar not too long ago. Over the summer, she caught that massive short-nosed gar.
Oh yeah.
Boy,
I didn't know they had short nose in that water.
I didn't either. I know that
I
there's
really didn't.
The black ones and the spotted one, the spotted long nose, but I've never seen a long nose. I ain't ever seen one that big.
Now we got the lakes are loaded in long nose around here, but I hadn't seen no short nose in there, but I'm sure they are. So anything safety you want to talk about as far as being on the boat? And I know guys and gals, they don't have his life vest on. We discussed that a minute ago. He's setting up in about 2 foot of water right next to the bank. So he is being very safe.
I mean,
you got a wife and kids at home. You don't want to be.
Yeah, I'm never going to put myself in a situation that I'm unsafe on the boat. And I know you can never predict everything. But
right.
The way I'm set up tonight, like I said, if something were to happen, like that fish, literally, I could see it swimming under the boat when it was under the boat. That's how clever I am. If I really needed to get off the boat or stand up, I could literally just step off to the side and it'd come up to about my knees.
Plus, there's hardly any current.
Yeah, there's none. Where I'm sitting right now, there is no current at all.
So
if there was any more current, or if I was like, okay, I want to focus on this main river channel out here, I put that jacket on and I'm gonna go towards that channel.
Right. Yeah, because I want y'all to know in chat that Patriot James or Jesse would ever promote anything unsafe.
Yeah, I mean,
try, even if you've never been on them or you're an experienced person, we never will promote any unsafe actions on the water.
Yeah, keep it on, especially if you're trying to adjust to a kayak that you've never been in before. I don't care if you're just fun fishing, if you're tournament fishing. I mean, keep it on. When I go to leave out of here and I go to paddle back out, it'll be on.
Yeah,
I put it on when I'm paddling upriver. One, it's nighttime. There is rock. It's shallow, so there's rocks that I might not see. If I have to stop paddling, at one point I could get kicked in the current, hit a rock, and flip. I'd rather lose the rod than my life. So I put the life jacket back on as soon as I come off this shoal.
You got that right. Sam Martin's in the house. Said hello from North Dakota. Long way away. Gamby said you should have just scooped that fish right up. Yeah. I don't know about just scooping a fish up while you in a kayak, but
I had no clue until I got the line until I caught up with it that it was shooting past me, and I hadn't looked down. I seen it shoot right past, and that's when my anchor kicked off because I got a breakaway anchor system just in case something does happen. The anchor is designed like that to kick away from the boat and let the boat go to where I'm not being pulled or yanked down.
Right. Yeah, and that's I had a buddy used to take his canoe down there and fish up there next to the dam. I told him, I said, David, you crazy. He used wash machine motors as anchors because you know you're just going to lose it.
Yeah.
But he was out there one day and they cut loose the water and he reached and grabbed his knife to cut the anchor rope, dropped the anchor knife and fiddled around and barely found his one that was in his tackle box. But by the time he got to the front of his canoe, it was already standing on a 45. He was getting ready to go under when he cut it. And it took him half a day to get back up that river from as far down as it washed him, buddy.
I've been into some situations like that. I mean, right now my knife is right here. I mean, a fraction of a second, I can grab that knife. And it's tethered, so if it does slip out of my hand, I can bring it back. It's locked to the kayak. I keep it in a holster right here beside my seat. Like I said, all I got to do is put my hands down. My life jacket is right here. I can grab it and throw it on. It's not, it's not like in the back in a storage bin or underneath the boat or anything like that. It's laying right here out of the way to where I'm not getting it covered in slime. But if I need to grab it, I can grab it.
Right.
I'd run a breakaway anchor system for the simple fact in case something like that happened. What I have is I have a plastic hook and hoop you can get on Austin Kayak for like $4, and it's real soft plastic. So when that hook stretches, it'll actually unclip from the loop and it'll let the line come off. And instead of hooking it through the hoop like you're supposed to for the anchor trolley, I actually put a small knot on that hook. So when that hook breaks off, and you've seen it happen there.
Yeah. So
when that hook breaks off, it'll slide right off that hook and detach from the kayak to where I'm not in any kind of situation. So I have been in situations where they have cut the water on it. You get hit by like a force flow or something comes floating down and hits you from behind when you're anchored like this. I mean, you never know. Like right now, the worst part would be a deer falling on me because, like I said, I can touch the bank with a rod from here. So.
Yeah. Now anchoring in a river. Tell them some of the things that you look for not to do and to do.
First off, if there's current, don't anchor close to the bank. Try to stay away from the bank because there's a lot. If the water's up and it's moving, there's a lot of trees under the surface that you're not seeing. So when the water's up, I don't anchor this close to the bank. I'll stay towards the main channel of the lake or the river. And I'll just spread my lines out. I keep my anchors. I only run about a 3-pound anchor. It's a grapple hook anchor. I don't tie. It's got 2 tie points, one at the top of it and one at the bottom. Yeah. What I do is I tie from the bottom and I run a small zip tie at the top of the main line. So if it gets hung in a rock, I can yank it. It'll break the zip tie and actually flip upside down and come out of the rock. Yeah. And I've only lost a few that have kind of been in like a bevel point underneath a rock, but most of the time you can give it a good tug on that light zip tie and it'll just pop right off.
Right.
Your angle is everything when you're out here. If there was current, I wouldn't be anchored from the side of my kayak like I am now. I would adjust my anchor trolley to where I'm a little bit either more streamlined facing downriver.
Right.
If it was super fast, I would just turn the entire kayak around and anchor off of the nose.
Right. Anchor nose first into the current.
Leave it nose first into the current because the nose is higher than the back of the kayak.
Right.
So it'll kind of ride that current a little bit better.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't run drift socks or nothing like that to keep myself straight in the current. I kind of just let the boat rest naturally before I start throwing bait. So when I come up to a situation like this where there's no current, I keep my bait bucket in the water. That kind of keeps a little bit of a pool that way. But I just position myself, let the boat rest naturally. Instead of trying to fight the boat, this, that, and the other, then you throw a drift sock out in the current. Then you got to fight a drift sock back into the boat if you want to move. I just wait until I get that sweet spot where the boat moves to where it wants to sit. Once you get that spot, unless you hit a fish, you really don't turn. I'm only running one anchor tonight. There is times that I will run two. Like if I'm on a main lake,
Right.
I have like a mushroom style anchor, a little one. I think it's like 6 pounds. It's homemade, so it's like 5 pounds. I do the same thing like I used to do in the big boat. I'll throw my anchor off the back. I'll drag out about 50 yards of line, whatever I need to fish that area. Throw my front one off and then work my way back to the other one and stabilize myself on them anchors. So that way, if a boat comes through, the anchor's not right underneath of you. You're not getting pulled off an anchor.
Yeah.
You're not getting rocked around. You're not getting sucked down by a rip wave that comes through because it still gives you a little bit of cushion to kind of shaking the wave. The lake fishing is a different animal, especially at nighttime. We run that tournament trail. We fish a lot of events at nighttime, but anchor fishing in a lake at nighttime, you gotta kind of be really aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
Lights, a lot of lights. I run a lot of lights on the lake when I'm out there.
Yeah, most definite. I mean, and now people still about running over you out there with light all over it.
Well, I don't know. Water is pretty bad, but I think Wiley's probably the worst around here.
They crazy, man. They are absolutely crazy. I'm glad most of them a lot of them done put them up for the winter time.
Yeah, that the summer fling has kind of started to trickle off. I've noticed it a lot just passing the lake. You don't see as much boat traffic now.
Yeah, usually after Labor Day, this starts winding down when the school starts back up and stuff. But you get some warm days, there'll be some of them back out on the water.
Yeah, and another thing I use a lot too out of a kayak is brush grips. It's I think I got some. Like the situation I'm set up in now would be perfect for the brush grip since I'm right up on the bank like this. But this is the brush grips here. It's like a bar on my phone. I bumped it earlier. But
Right.
yeah, there's a brush grip. The brush grips here. These open up. You can lock them around a log. And the way the string's tied is as it tightens, it pulls the string against the stick or log or whatever you're hooked to.
It gets tighter and tighter and tighter the harder it pulls.
It kind of chokes down on it. And that'll lock you in like if you're on a real swift current, that'll lock you in a lot better than trying to put an anchor out too. A lot less.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I try to avoid getting close to the bank as much as I can though if the current's moving, unless I absolutely have to get out of the kayak. Just with sunken logs and stuff out here, you never really know what. Like I said, if you see it now compared to what it looks like when the water level's actually up, you're gonna be like, "Wow, I wouldn't think that's there," or "I wouldn't think that's there." Yeah.
Well, see, that's one thing that, if I was a river fisherman, everybody says they love Navionics, but Google Earth, if you're a river fisherman, can be your friend.
Yeah, because
you can go back in the timeline and you can go back to them low water times and you're going to say, well, Lord have mercy, I didn't know none of that was there.
Yeah, and it'll show you the rapids too. So if you have an area like on the Catawba system, there's a few series of rapids or steps that you have to go down. If you look at it on Navionics, you're never going to see that.
Nope.
But if you look at it actually on Google Images in them areas, you can actually see the rip, the water lines from where that step is. Then you're like, oh, okay, so there's something here. As I'm kayaking through, I need to be very aware of. Like the one up, not too far upriver from where I'm at. It's a monster. If the water's low, it's a monster. If the water's high, it's a monster. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can get through it at an amateur level, but I mean, it's no like class 4 or nothing like that. But it's just a jet because it comes down and it's a lot of big rocks in there, so it just makes a jet sweep through there.
Right. Channels it into the little short areas, don't it?
Yeah.
Narrow spots, whatever. Yeah, that's something that you got to be continually thinking about is sunken debris that can make for a bad day. If nothing else, it can turn you over.
Yeah.
So looking for those places that, You know, you can look at it, say 2 years ago when the water was way down, and then you look at it a year later when the water's way down. If this big tree's still in that same hole, then that big tree's probably going to still be there anytime. So that's something you need to make a mental note of, that if I go by there.
You got to learn your waterways too, especially if you plan on fishing them a lot. You know, be comfortable with your ways and know what you can fish, what you can't. You know, one of my big things, I never overload my boat ever. Yeah. I keep it pretty simple, pretty light. Like now, I don't even have my fish finder with me tonight. I'm fishing with no fish finder tonight, just because I knew I have a decent walk to get out of here. So I didn't want the weight to have to put on the wheels and make more weight for myself with everything else.
Right.
And
well, you already know that spot. You already knew the spots that you was going to go set up in. So really, there wasn't no use bringing it. You know.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I know pretty much all these spots, how deep, how shallow. I mean, I can call it out pretty close, usually within a foot or two.
Yeah. That's and there's a lot of times that I'll look at my depth finder and stuff just because I'm curious about spots that I'm going to, but I'm pretty much going to one of the spots that I've done checked out thoroughly anyway.
Yeah.
First, you know.
And I mean, I do that a lot with tournament fishing too. Like, there's a lot of time I don't pre-fish. I believe that whole pre-fishing curse thing. So there's a lot of time I don't pre-fish. So I look for navionics and then my fish finder when I get out there to kind of scout of how I want to fish it and kind of get a general idea. That, like, you know, like a river system like this, honestly, you don't need a fish finder to be successful out here.
No.
These fish are eating. You just, you know, put bait on them. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
But now out there, really, what's up, Laura? And bank fishing with Rob and want to be outdoors. Good night, Mr. Crow. Lee Evans, Paw Ed. Really, you'd have to use side scan out there in that shallow river, because at 5 foot you ain't gonna be seeing that much of the water anyway.
Yeah, I mean at 5 foot, like right now, 5 foot, you can see the fish anyway. So fish finders can see no good.
Right.
This water's pretty clear. I like it to be a little bit muddier than this. I think the bite's always a little bit better when it's a little bit muddier. But
agreed.
Like too. Right now, 4 or 5 foot of water, you can see straight to the bottom.
All right, I got another question to ponder your mind. How many lights are around you besides you?
How many
on that water? How much light is on that river right there where you're at besides your light? None?
No. Who's asking this question?
Huh?
So who's asking these questions?
I'm asking. My question is that, no, it ain't for location. I'm just curious.
I'm just picking. No, there's
do
no
you
light.
think that the light affects your bite? Because you in a place that ain't no light on that water. Until you turned it on.
Yeah, there's no man-made structure on this stretch at all. So I think if the fish ain't acquitted to the light, it could make a difference. Say if I was running like a bait light underneath of me right now.
Right. Oh, I heard that.
If I was running a bait light underneath of me right now, it would probably spook more fish. Ooh. All right. I don't know if it's that big or what.
Fish on, fish on.
Trying not to come off an anchor again, man.
Because there ain't hardly no current. He's trying to pull you off.
Yeah. Well, I don't want my anchor line to come untied either.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to leave this 2 foot of water.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it could honestly be that, you know, I'm casted away from the boat. I'm not really fishing right under the boat, so the light around me is probably not affecting anything. I could imagine if you were running bright lights down through here trying to run. I haven't seen this fish yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people, growing up, grandpas and daddies, you keep the lantern and everything away from that water. They wanted it dark, dark, dark. But I've caught fish and it be lit up like daylight out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Another long fish.
Sound like a pretty good one too.
I'll go up in the tree. I mean, I've run lights a few times off the side of. Stop it. Trying to get one at a time here, fella. I mean, I've run lights off the side of my kayak and under my kayak. I mean, I don't know. I think daytime wise, you would mess up. You get spotted, and I think that affects the bite more than the lights at nighttime.
Right.
More than likely, they're probably going to come in out of curiosity.
That's what I was thinking.
And because the bait's going to come.
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
Yeah, bait's going to come to the light.
Yeah, the bait's going to come to the light, so then they're going to come in and they're going to be like, well, what's going on over here?
Yeah. Look at all that food. I'm at a buffet, all that food swimming around that pretty light.
Try to get it to open his mouth.
Oh. He ain't wanting to talk to you and open it, huh? Yep. That's a good daggone fish right there, too, Jesse.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's them good fighting fish, but that's them fish that will bite the fool out of you, too, son.
Yeah, he's got my knuckles. I got him and he's got me.
Yeah. That size fish right there is mean. They fight hard. They bite hard. They just got an attitude.
Oh, let me click my headlight off. Probably see it better.
That'll work.
Yeah,
there you go. Yep, you can come back and screenshot that. Drop it down a little bit more. Right there. There you go. Now you can screenshot that picture. How much time is in it? That'd be on 9:08. If you go to look at it, scan to the end, you can get it. Yep. Jesse, we're going to wind it down. Don't run off nowhere. Everybody, thank y'all for coming in and joining us. Jesse just showed you another fish. You've seen 2 good fish tonight. He's caught 3 so far. Lost 1. So, good night so far. Appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate you having me. I appreciate everybody that come to watch. And, it's the life jacket thing. Next time, guys, I'll just keep it on the whole time. Like, I'm not trying to rub anybody the wrong way or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just in 2 foot of water. It's not. Yeah. It's my preference right now to not have it on. So, Jesse,
everybody, most of the people in chat already know that I'm not ever going to promote something unsafe. And now they've got to meet you and know you a little bit more. Some of them seen you before when you was on the show. A lot of them are still new to YouTube and maybe didn't see you. Hello, Carolina Real Screamers. But I know you enough, and I've seen enough of your videos and your pictures know that you're going to be safe to get home to your wife and kids, and that's the main thing. You're not going to promote people being unsafe. So
no. Like, even if I had somebody out here sitting in this spot with me right now, I'd life jacket up and have them life jacket up. One, it's nighttime. You can't see what's going on around you with this bright light and stuff like that. Like I said, my life jacket's right here. I'm going to be as safe as I can to go home to my family. It's a promise I made to my wife many moons ago when we started all this together.
Right.
I'd always come home after a trip, so I'm going to hold true to that.
Right. And Carolina Cat Daddy, yeah, he does know what he's doing, but like he just said, anything can happen at any time. But right now, he's being about as safe as you're going to be, even if you're bank fishing, because he's right next to the bank in 2 foot of water and no current.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something, too, is I've been bank fishing before on steep ledges and have went down and
Yes.
then go in. And I mean, on this river, I went down with rubber boots on and got swept about 100 yards from where I was bank fishing. Had to fight back up through to get back to the bank.
Hey, I've wade fished and fell in the cotton picking water with a set of chest waders on. You let a set of chest waders get full of water.
Oh yeah,
You got to chuck them. You got to come out of them.
yeah.
You do.
No,
You
every
got
time
to come out of them. You're gonna drown.
that's one thing I would never wear in a kayak. Hip waders or something that didn't strap up, that's fine. Like I wear the winter side. In the wintertime I wear bibs.
Right.
Never strap both clips in case I gotta come out of it, because even bibs would be heavy when they're wet.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, you got to come out of that junk.
And like I said, that's one reason, safety right there.
Swimming in cold water's bad enough, but you having to fight all that extra weight, buddy, get out of it.
Getting to fight that lead blanket don't help.
Yeah, you got that right. So, but thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday night on the show. Appreciate you watching, Jesse. He showed you a couple fish. And we'll see y'all Monday night on Catfish Weekly. God bless everybody. God bless America. We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all later.